Hello everyone and welcome to a roundup of 2021. So in this roundup I'm going to be walking you through the content that we published on Onalytica and give you a summary. I'm also going to run through some of the top news and updates that happened month by month in the influencer marketing and social media space. And then I'm going to hand over to my colleague Jack, who is the VP of Product at Onalytica, who is going to talk through the updates that we pushed out at Onalytica and in our product throughout 2021 and also what 2022 looks like. First up, in January, Onalytica collaborated with FTI Consulting on a report looking into the impact that COVID-19 had on B2B influencer communities. So we analysed communities across tech, healthcare, energy, transport and finance, across topics such as future of work, supply chain optimization, personal finance, to look at the impact that COVID had on the volume of conversation on those topics. In January, we really started to see the boom of social audio, namely Clubhouse. Clubhouse started to look at ways that they could start to fund the influencers and be a big part of the influencer ecosystem. Soon may the Wellerman come. Sound familiar? If you remember this viral trend in January this year, you will have noticed, well, you may not have noticed if you're not on TikTok like me, but it was this trend that saw TikTok opening up their videos to be shareable across all social media platforms to try and tempt users over to their platform. As part of Twitter's quest to move away from short form content, they acquired Review, which is a Dutch newsletter platform. In February, we shared an article on how to grow your influence on LinkedIn. An article that wasn't just helpful to influencers among us, but also to anyone that is looking to grow their influence on LinkedIn, as we all should be, because LinkedIn is such an important platform. In February, conversations on Clubhouse continued, with many marketers considering how much time and budget to put into Clubhouse and if they should place that above other marketing tactics. Influencers of the world united in February 2021, with the union covering actors, TV and film workers and YouTubers, extending their cover to influencers on social media. Also in February, Twitter launched Super Followers, where Twitter users could charge some of their followers to access specific corners or pieces of content on their profile. A big acquisition happened in February, with Cision acquiring Brandwatch for a total of $450 million. A great step in the right direction and indisputable signs of the industry's maturity. In February, social audio yet again was continuing to grow and be part of the marketers' conversation. This time, Twitter launched Twitter Spaces for desktop, whereas previously you could use Twitter Spaces on iOS and Android. In February, we shared an article on how to grow your influence on LinkedIn, and this time we wrote one on how to grow your influence on Twitter. Both platforms are equally as important as each other, but are very, very different in the way that people share and consume content. So read this article if you would like to grow your influence on Twitter as well as LinkedIn. In March, we were lucky to have our good friend Michael Brito, who works for Zeno Group as the head of analytics, write an article for us on the boom of social audio. An article that was very, very much needed with, well, the boom of social audio. Fireside, a podcasting and social audio platform, got launched in March, which aimed to bridge the gap and be a happy medium between the spontaneity of Clubhouse and the higher production value of filming a video yourself. With the increasingly competitive social audio landscape, Clubhouse introduced a tip jar where users could donate money to hosts of rooms. The UK Parliament's Digital, Culture, Media and Sport launched an inquiry into the power of influencers on social, a very important conversation and very much needed to protect influencers and also users. Only 4 months into the year, it became evident that Twitter were making big changes with their acquisitions and releases. Our VP of Product, Jack Paolo, shared an article on whether Twitter's flurry of releases were disrupting the balance of power in the influencer ecosystem. Another acquisition from Twitter in April, and this time it was Scroll. Scroll was the latest addition to their portfolio to help them move towards their subscription model. They said Scroll has built a way to read articles without the ads, giving people what they want, the content. In April, Instagram launched automatic captioning for the English language with promises of doing this across other languages and Reels later on in the year. A great move for the platform's accessibility and also user experience, because who listens to stories loud when they're out and about? Facebook also wanted a piece of the social audio pie with plans to launch live audio rooms. They would roll this out across Facebook groups and Messenger. Unsurprisingly, Spotify, a music streaming platform, wanted in on the social audio pie too. They did it slightly differently by acquiring Locker Room, which is a platform focused on recording mainly sport content. In May, Twitter launched Twitter Blues in a bid to broaden their revenue streams. After talk from Instagram of hiding likes, it was in May they decided to leave it up to the users. After months of Android users feeling left out, it was in May that Clubhouse finally launched on Android, but was it too late? In May, Clubhouse also launched Creator First, a series of creator-led audio shows where Clubhouse would give 50 creators a financial backing of $5,000. In May, Twitter opened up verification to everyone. Previous to this, Twitter proactively sought out profiles that had some sort of influence to verify their account. After a quieter month in May on the Onalytica content front, we made up for it with lots of content in June. First up, we had a social CEO index report where we analysed membership association CEOs' influence across Twitter and LinkedIn. We also launched a case study with one of our clients, the Nature Conservancy, also known as TNC, on the impact that COVID-19 had on nature-related conversations online. But the most exciting of them all was that Onalytica launched Onalytica, the world's largest B2B influence marketplace designed to make brand and influence partnerships easy. More on this later from Jack. Competition for creators' time continued to heat up, with Twitter sharing plans on their monetization tools with super follow and ticketed spaces. Several updates from Instagram in June as they looked to keep pace with TikTok. They announced that users would be able to like and dislike content on their feeds so that the platform could learn what they liked. Also in June, we had the Euros over here in Europe. A big story that hit the headlines was Cristiano Ronaldo moving over a bottle of Coca-Cola out of eye view during a press conference, which caused Coca-Cola's share price to dip by $4 billion. This, while very depressing to Coca-Cola at the time, highlights the value that influencers can have on a brand's perception and valuation. Throughout 2020 and 2021, Onalytica's CEO Tim Williams and one of our partners, Sarah Goodall from Tribal Impact, collaborated on a LinkedIn Live series where they interviewed some of the greatest minds on the topic of social media advocacy. We compiled all of the greatest insights and quotes, as well as recordings of all of these interviews into one downloadable ebook. Twitter's take on ephemeral content, i.e. content that can disappear after a short period of time, Fleet ironically disappeared after a short space of time, 8 months to be exact. In July, Twitter also launched plans for upvotes and downvotes on tweets to go hand in hand with replies and retweets. If finding the time or budget for design work was holding you back from posting on LinkedIn, then this update in July would have been music to your ears, as they announced that users of LinkedIn could use Canva free of charge for their design needs. In August, Captivate, an influencer marketing platform, integrated with TikTok's API, making it easier for B2C marketers to search for and engage with TikTok influencers. In August, some research came out from Bizarre Voice, which may surprise some, but not us at Onalytica or anyone else in the industry, and that is that consumers trust everyday influencers much more than any other type of influencer, and this is because they value authentic content. In September, we shared some top tips for what brands look for when partnering with an influencer, with some expert quotes and tips from some of our clients. September was the month that Clubhouse's longevity started to come into question, as users were left disappointed by Clubhouse's empty promises of sponsorships. Also in September, LinkedIn announced plans to launch paid-for ticketed events, a move that was no doubt fueled by the pandemic and also a key part of their strategy to break into social audio. With cryptocurrency being such a big talking point in September, TikTok announced plans on how they were going to have tighter control over crypto content. This was not a bid to silence creators talking about crypto content, but actually just a way to have more transparency and accountability on content overall. October, the month we all had 6 hours of either serenity or pure stress, as WhatsApp, Facebook and Instagram were all down for an entire 6 hours. It didn't stop there for Facebook, as also in October, whistleblower Frances Hogan, an ex-data engineer, came out with documents that proved that Facebook was struggling to control hate speech outside of the US. Yet another acquisition from Twitter in October, but this time it was Sphere, a group chat app, sold by a British entrepreneur for an undisclosed amount. In October, YouTube hired a head of podcast as part of their bid to take on social audio. Another move in social audio, and this time from Twitter again, Twitter launched an accelerator program for Spaces, where any user with 5,000 plus followers could claim $2,500 a month to join the program, plus an extra $500 for advertising credits to advertise their space. A move that made sense given Twitter's obsession with trying to emulate every move that Clubhouse makes, included their failed attempt to help creators make more money. A new app entered the scene in October called Wisdom. This is an app that connects mentees with mentors via on-demand video content. Ironically, the founder actually met the angel investors on Clubhouse. Another big report from Onalytica in November, which was a B2B influencer compensation report looking into the key trends in influencer rates across different collaboration types globally and in North America and Europe. We also launched a COP26 report analysing the online conversations around the COP26 event. We also looked at the performance of brands and partners throughout the event, so pre, during and post-event. In the industry, we have a big update from Twitter. Jack Dorsey stepped down as the CEO, making way for the current CTO, Parag Agrawal. Rumours are that Jack will go into something related to cryptocurrency, as he believes that cryptocurrency has the ability to create world peace. Twitter announced that they are testing downvotes on replies. People won't see how many downvotes a reply has, but it will help the algorithm tailor replies to the user. Mark Zuckerberg has pledged $1 billion to pay creators across the Meta platforms. Namely, Instagram has said that they will pay creators £35,000 to post videos on its Reels in a bid to take on TikTok. Patreon CEO have announced that they will be working on a video hosting platform. Will this be a new competitor for YouTube, or do YouTube have nothing to worry about?
Now for a roundup of what's new and what's next for the Onalytica platform. First, we'll start with 2021 and the exciting updates that we rolled out this year. First up was our launch of My Onalytica. This is our portal designed specifically for influencers to be able to update their details and let brands know that they are open to collaboration and what sorts of activities they might be available for. We now have 700 influencers and climbing opted in, and we're excited about the possibilities as we roll out new features in the coming year. Next up is the launch of our campaigns module in your Onalytica programs. For brands who are working with us, this means you'll be able to come into your Onalytica program, document your progress, store all your notes and create a shared view of the progress of your influencer campaigns with the short list of people that you're thinking about outreaching to, all in one place where your whole team can see. Finally, for the 2021 update, we have made a few changes to what's available in dashboards to try and make it easier to analyze your influencer community in depth. The most prominent of these that you'll spot is the ability to highlight different groups on the network map, so you can quickly see how two different groups are interacting with each other and then share a visualization of that with your whole team. And now for what's coming next in 2022. The first major area where we're going to be looking to expand the functionality is with our data strategy. The two ways that you will see this starting to populate within the platform is audience data. It's going to be rolled out and substantially expanded so you can see the demographics of an influencer's audience on their profile. The second way you're going to see this is we're going to be expanding the number of channels that are available, hopefully to include for as many influencers as possible the available data that we have on Twitter, LinkedIn, podcasts, blogs, and YouTube. Second update for 2022, where we're excited about the progress that we're going to make, is the influencer marketplace, the My Onalytica portal. We're going to be seeing new insights features so that influencers can see how they're performing, understand how their profile is being interacted with. We're going to be rolling out email notifications early next year so that you can get updated as soon as those new insights drop. And most importantly, we are going to be rolling out the ability to receive inquiries directly from brands who are interested, so you can see all of your outreach in one place, respond to the brands that you are interested in working with, and kind of get the campaign set up all through the My Onalytica app. Third, on the brand side, influencer relationship management is just going to get easier as we keep rolling out new features for the campaign management module in your program. You're going to be able to plan the detail of your campaign a lot more, view it on a timeline, and then share that with colleagues so you all have a shared understanding. Crucially, you're going to be able to outreach to the brands that we have opted in to our My Onalytica marketplace directly in the app, secure the collaboration, agree it with them, and then document all of that progress all in the app. And we are planning also to introduce benchmark data for rate cards, building on the excellent work that our marketing team has done producing the compensation report. We're going to be sharing benchmark data to contextualize rates and help you make the best decision on where to invest with particular influencers. And finally, for our 2022 plans, our reporting and insights strategy. We're going to be adding a new data export functionality to make it a little bit easier to just get the data out when you need to combine it with other data points, as we know lots of organizations want to do. And where that multi-channel data from our data strategy starts to filter in, we're going to be adding that to the reporting and insights functionality like profiles and dashboards where relevant, so that you can look at not just Twitter data or not just Twitter or LinkedIn and blogs, but actually all of the channels that I mentioned previously. So really expanding your ability to kind of dig into what's going on in the influencer community and understand the conversation regardless of where it's happening. And that is it. That is our 2021 and forward-looking 2022 roundup for the Onalytica product.